Hi, Damian Qualter here, and today I want to share a book review with you, which I think one is probably the most important books if you're a business owner that you should be reading. And this book, basically, I think you should read if you're not in business and you just want to understand what makes people tick and what influences people to do things. The book's by Robert Cialdini, who's a doctor, a professor of psychology. I'm not sure what his exact title is, but this is probably one of the best books I've read. I've read it probably about 5 or 6 times now, and I just wanted to show you a few little things about it, so if you found it useful, maybe it's something you want to put on your reading list too. So the basis of the book, obviously, there's quite a lot of information in here, but the basis of the book is Cialdini boils down that influence is really part of 6 different things, and these are I can never say reciprocity. Can't even say the thing. Reciprocity. Sorry, can't spell, but I can talk. Reciprocity is basically the idea that if you give something to someone, they feel obliged to return the favour. So again, as a marketer, if you're providing great content to people, over time, you've given, so they will feel obliged to do something back for you. Obviously, they're not stupid, but again, it's building that know, like, and trust. So if you're using reciprocity in your marketing, that you're giving stuff, then it builds up all those good bonus points in your favour. The second one is commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency can be described. Let me give you an example of it. Commitment and consistency. One of the examples I like to use for this is basically if you get someone to fill in a form, say on your website, it's just one little section, and you say, give me your email, and then if you redirect them, say, to another page and ask 2 or 3 more questions, in many cases, and we found it in probably about 75% of cases, that people will, once they've started that process, then they're quite happy to offer more information. If we boil that back one step further, what we've also found is on most websites, for example, they will have a form, maybe first name, last name, and then a button underneath, which everyone hates forms, let's face it. So when we've tested this with just a button, so people, find out more. I know that's not a very exciting title, but what the generic idea is, if you have something you want people to do, if you've got a button rather than a form being displayed, so let me show you that. An example is, most people have a form and then a button here. If you just have a button to click, then once you've done that commitment and consistency kicks in to complete the form. With this method, people hate forms, so we have found that you can get probably 30-40% more conversions by having a button that pops open a form rather than a form displaying first. So again, that's how you use one example of commitment and consistency. Next one is social proof. Social proof is things like testimonials, how many likes you've got for something, how many testimonials you've got for your products, what people are saying for you. Again, people they don't want to be the first generally to do something, they want to follow in someone else's path. So if you've got lots of social proof, testimonials, things like that about your products and services, good reviews, then that ticks the social proof box. Liking, again, this is very much common sense. People want to deal with people they know, like, and trust. So you've got to come across as an affable person, someone they can relate to, and is like them. That people don't want to be talked down to. People want to deal with people who are similar to them, who've maybe made good, and feel that they are aligned with them in their visions and values, that they can help them achieve their goals too. Authority, number 5, is basically, authority is being the teacher. Doctors, dentists, lawyers are seen as authority figures. If you do, say, a webinar to your list or doing videos, things like that, because you're teaching them, people immediately associate authority with you doing stuff like that. So again, really useful things to do. And the final one is scarcity. And this is where a lot of marketers abuse this influencer, with fake scarcity. If you're going to use scarcity, use it, properly, use it ethically. So scarcity could be, you've got, I don't know, you're doing an event, an ethical way of doing it. You've got 100 places. And the reason you've got 100 places is the hotel only holds 100 places. So you could say, quite ethically, again, in your marketing, hey, come to my event, we've got 100 places. When they've gone, they're gone. Same thing you could do is if you're offering a bonus, you could say, the first 50 people who act will get a certain bonus. You could put a time scarcity on it. You've got only 48 hours to do something. You could put a price increase after a certain time scale. So that's how you use scarcity. So, if you start using these in your marketing and combinations of them, maybe, a few of these in your marketing, I'm sure you're going to see a lot better results that you get. And, if you want to find out a bit more about this, obviously it's a really detailed book. Definitely recommend it's one on your reading list to read. As I say, I've read it about 4 or 5 times. Probably about 5 years ago was the first time I read it. It's definitely worth reading if you want to find out, the factors that influence people. And again, as I mentioned at the start of the video, this is not just relevant for business people. It's relevant generally in life. If you need to influence people, then this is a great starting point for you to start with. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any comments, questions, please leave them. We're happy to show you how we use influence with our clients and in our own business. Again, if you want to talk to us about anything, please select one of the buttons, not the forms. You see, we tend to have buttons because we practice what we preach on our website, and someone will talk to you about how we can help you influence your audience.